सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Now, if I told you that Gujarat is among the richer states in India, right? Maybe even among the richest states in India, if you take out the small states, Goa, Himachal, even say Haryana for that matter, Gujarat would be among the richest states. In the national rankings, it's number 8. But some of those top rankings are with the smaller states. That's the reason we are discounting them. So Gujarat would be among the richest states in India. At the same time, if I told you that West Bengal is among the poorest states of India, you will find that also quite easy to believe. And the fact is that just as Gujarat is number 8 in per capita income for all of India, West Bengal is number 23. So fine. One state is much richer than the other, or the other state is much poorer than the first. West Bengal is much poorer, Gujarat is much richer. Look at this in terms of absolute figures. In West Bengal, per capita income for the year 2021-22 is 1.24 lakhs per person. In Gujarat, it's 2.5 lakhs. So it's about twice as much as West Bengal. Just for reference, for India for the same year, the figure for per capita income is 1.48 lakhs. So Gujarat is well above the national average of 1.48 lakh per capita income and exactly twice as much, in fact just a little over twice as much as that of West Bengal, 1.24 lakhs. Now, until now, you will say this is no surprise. This is entirely intuitive. So why is Shekhar Gupta telling us this story today on Cut the Clutter? Now, that is where clutter comes in. The clutter comes from the fact, and that's a counterintuitive fact. Clutter comes from the fact that in both states, while one state is twice richer than the other, the percentage of people below the poverty line, and this is the Niti Aayog's calculated multidimensional poverty line that we talked about in an earlier episode of Cut the Clutter, of which I'll again share a copy with you. You can take a look at that because that gives us all the criteria on how this multidimensional poverty definition is arrived at. This is very comprehensive. If you look at Niti Aayog's latest data, it tells you, and fasten seat belts, it tells you that the percentage of population below multidimensional poverty line in Gujarat is about exactly the same as that in West Bengal. Surprised? So I will give you the precise numbers. So in West Bengal right now, according to this Niti Aayog survey, it's called the National Multidimensional Poverty Index, a progress review 2023. If you look at this, then West Bengal shows a poverty rate, percentage of people below poverty line of 11.89%, and Gujarat is at 11.66%. So any difference is within the margin of error. So it's about exactly the same. That is counterintuitive. Now, to understand this counterintuitive fact that the number of people living below the poverty line in one of India's richest states and a state considered to be a big economic success story, everybody talks about the Gujarat model, and with good reason. How come that level is the same as that in West Bengal, which is otherwise seen to be a laggard state, which is also indicated by its per capita incomes? We have to understand where this is coming from. So this Niti Aayog data, it looks at not just income to define the poverty line, but also key indicators under health, education, standard of living, and also divides it in 12 sub-indicators. Those we spoke about in our earlier episode of Cut the Clutter on the multidimensional poverty report. Now we are looking at only the comparative figures of Gujarat and West Bengal, one state on our eastern seaboard, the other state on our western seaboard. So across the country from west to the east. Once again for clarity, if we just begin with 2016. In 2016 in Gujarat, 18.5% were below this poverty line, and in West Bengal, 21.3% were below this poverty line. By 2021, Gujarat In Gujarat, the number had come down, as we've seen, to 11.66. In West Bengal, the figure had come down to 11.89. So approximately, rounded off, Gujarat reduced the percentage of people below this poverty line by 6.8 percentage points in these 5 years, whereas West Bengal reduced that number by 9.4 percentage points. So reduction of poverty, the rate of reduction of poverty in West Bengal was higher in these years than in Gujarat, although they started with a much higher figure. You will understand this better if you look at our graphic 1. So take a look at our graphic 1. In fact, graphics will linger on your screen as we talk. You can always take screenshots or in any case, keep referring back to this. And also you can see our story, which my young colleague Nikhil Rampal has done. I will share a link of that story also with you. That story also has these graphics. So look at this graphic. This explains it to you. What this means is that in this period of 5 years, 1 in 11 poor people escaped poverty in this period, whereas in Gujarat, this number was 1 in 15. So again, the pace of change was higher in West Bengal than in Gujarat. Counterintuitive, but remember, this is the government's data. This is the Modi government's data. In absolute numbers, if you want to see, once again, in this period, Gujarat brought 47.84 lakh people, that's almost half a crore, 47 lakh 84,000 people out of poverty, whereas West Bengal brought 92.58 lakh people out of poverty. Now, numbers are also skewed by the fact that West Bengal has a much higher population than Gujarat. But since you already have the percentages, I am giving you the absolutes also. So one fact actually buttresses the other. Now, if you see all the 12 indicators individually, West Bengal actually outperformed in its rate of progress, not absolutely. In its rate of progress, West Bengal outperformed Gujarat in 9 out of 12 indicators. And once again, see these graphics, my graphic 2, my graphic 3, my graphic 4. Graphic 2 is for education, and you can see the data on both sides. Red is for Gujarat, green is for West Bengal. So you will see for years of schooling and school attendance, both have made progress, but you can see that West Bengal has made faster progress. Again, you can say that West Bengal's base was lower, but the fact is they've made faster progress and they've caught up. Now look at our next graphic, graphic number 3 under health. Under health, see nutrition, child and adolescent mortality and maternal health. On each one, both states have made progress. Gujarat is red, West Bengal is green. Both states have made progress. West Bengal has progressed faster than Gujarat. Standard of living. Once again, look at all the data. Cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, assets that people own, bank accounts. And most of these West Bengal has done better, but there are some areas where Gujarat has done better. For example, in housing, cooking fuel, and electricity. So for Gujarat also, for the administrators and the government of Gujarat also, they have to see where they've done well and where is it that they have lagged, even compared to a relatively laggard state. Once again, a very interesting highlight. If you look at nutrition, now nutrition is an area where Gujarat is doing particularly poorly. And I've been surprised, in fact, to notice how poor nutritional levels have been in Gujarat. So if you go back to 2016, again, these are Modi government's figures. These are Niti Aayog figures. If we go back to Gujarat in 2016, 41.37% of its people suffered from nutritional deficiencies, 41.37%. For West Bengal, this figure in 2016 was 33.6%. So more people suffered from nutritional deficiencies. According to these definitions in Gujarat in 2016, many more people than in West Bengal. What has happened since then? In 2021, West Bengal has improved from 33.6% to 27.3%. So while Gujarat has improved, but from 41.37% to 38.09% is just 3 percentage points. So it's a very small improvement. Whereas in the case of West Bengal, even though their base is lower, at 33.6%, they've come to 27.3%. So that's an improvement of 6.3 percentage points. Once again, West Bengal has done much better than Gujarat. So nutrition is one area that Gujarat really needs to focus on. So we can see that the rate of reduction of malnutrition in Gujarat is half that of West Bengal in this period, and that tells the administrators of Gujarat that nutrition levels is something that they need to worry about. Again, you see sanitation. In sanitation, Gujarat has made an 11 percentage point improvement from 37% to 26%. West Bengal has made 47.8% to 32%. That's a 16 percentage points decrease. Whereas Gujarat has 11 percentage points decrease. Once again, things were much worse in West Bengal than in Gujarat 5 years back. But in the last 5 years, West Bengal has made much faster progress than Gujarat. Again, come to safe drinking waters, and these are all elements that come under standard of living. You come to safe drinking water. Safe drinking water is defined as availability of safe drinking water within a 30-minute walking distance. See how minimal our expectations are, our poor people's expectations are. We say if you can get safe drinking water within 30 minutes of your walking distance, you are fine. You are not below the poverty line. But even going by that definition, Gujarat started in 2016 with 7.7% of its people not having access to safe drinking water within a 30-minute walking distance. They've made an improvement. They've come to 5.3. But see what's happened to West Bengal. They started with 9.46, so things were worse there in 2016. Now they are at 4.97, so they've improved much faster. And in fact, at this point, the difference is marginal. But the drinking water deprivation for the extreme poor in West Bengal today is less, marginally, but less than in Gujarat. One state is twice as rich as the other. So deprivation from drinking water or non-availability of drinking water today is a bit less in Gujarat than in West Bengal. It's a state twice as rich as it on per capita income basis. We told you earlier that Gujarat has done better on housing, cooking fuel and electricity. Then let's look at one more metric that Niti Aayog uses, which is intensity of poverty. What this says is that if a fellow Indian has 33%, is below deprivation level on 33%, the score is below 33% on all these indicators put together, the person is poor. But as the score rises, the intensity of poverty increases. For example, 100% would mean stone poor, right? So 33% is the cutoff mark. Compared to that, in 2016, Gujarat was 44.9%. West Bengal was a little bit above Gujarat at 45.5%. So once again, you would say that given how much poorer West Bengal is, you would normally believe that West Bengal should have had many more people who would qualify to be called intensively deprived or with high poverty intensity. It was about the same in 2016. West Bengal was marginally higher, 45.5 compared to 44.9 in Gujarat. What has happened in 5 years? If you see in the next 5 years, Gujarat has marginally declined its poverty intensity. That has gone from 44.9% to 43.25%. West Bengal is also reduced by a small amount, but it has come from 45.5% to 42%. So yet again, a big surprise that poverty intensity in West Bengal has come down a little bit lower than Gujarat. Just a little bit lower, but lower nevertheless. Again, interesting and important given that the state has half the per capita income of Gujarat. So you can draw many lessons from this. One, it tells you how diverse, how deeply diverse our country is. Just as we are diverse based on religion, language, ethnicity, cultures, food habits, etc., 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 we are also diverse in the nature of our inequality. So states which are the richest can also have among the largest percentage of poor people in the country. The states which are among the poorest can also reduce poverty at a faster rate than richer states. That's all part of India's diversity. So once again, bottom line is economic prosperity does not automatically eliminate poverty. And in the state of Gujarat, if anything, adequate trickle down has not taken place, and more of this should take place. All of this, however, of course, does not change the fact that West Bengal only has half the per capita income of Gujarat. So West Bengal also has to do a lot more to bring in investment, to revive its industry that's been dead for such a long time. But no state, particularly a coastal state, should carry on with such low per capita incomes. Now, even politically, these two states are very interesting to compare because in one, first of all, both states have stable long-term governments, stable long-term and multi-term governments. In Gujarat, the BJP has been in power for 28 years. In West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee and her TMC have been in power now for 12 years. And in each case, all their governments, one term after the other, have had very healthy, robust majorities. So that leaves no excuses.